Morning, hello, and welcome back to Austria. We are in fairing once again. You thought it was big yesterday, it's even bigger today.
It's longer and bigger and sunnier and lovelier. It's fairing in the summer sun.
Round 3 is in the books. Today we begin a whole fresh new day. Some people want to continue business as usual for Ongaro. JQ will want to try and recreate what happened to him before he got taken out in the final or just made a mistake. We don't know yet.
No, taken out, definitely. I've had to watch that video several times.
And some people, Falk, Boots.
A whole new day.
It's a fresh day.
Sounds like kind of a Disney song. A whole new day.
So we had 2 sprint finals yesterday, as is customary, for the first day of an RCGP World Series event. How were the finals for you, Nick?
They were very exciting. Admittedly, Davide kind of dominated the first one, but a great battle with Marco Barofalo in the second. And we had a happy podium, I believe, who went to a lovely press conference.
Let's take a look.
Davide, 3 rounds, 3 wins. You're making it look a bit easy.
No, it's not easy, but from yesterday we changed a lot on the car, and today was really good. For tomorrow, I think we leave the same setup, and we will see tomorrow how we go.
Talking about today, it's interesting you say you changed a lot because you weren't very high up in qualifying, only 4th place. Did you feel you were lost, or was it just a few things needed to get changed?
I think the track is really difficult to learn, so I find also the good line on track, but also car improve a lot after the qualifying.
Carl, I think, whilst we probably thought that David might be somewhere in this team, it's quite nice to see you up here, and obviously representing Infinity and Australia, and one of your rare trips to Europe, so you'd come more often, shouldn't you?
Yeah. No, I'm pretty happy. My car yesterday, again, was like, I was looking for a bit more speed. It's been easy to drive, but like you said, learning the track is quite difficult, finding good lines. But I was really, really happy with today. My first race, I got really lucky, got a clean start, got second in that. And then, the last one was really good as well. I was happy with my car. Very happy to be on the podium.
It looks incredibly intense to be involved in the action in the middle of the field.
Yeah, definitely. Especially with the grid start that we have and all the really, really fast drivers. The first 5 minutes is just insane. So getting a start out the front with the front pack is really, really key. There's heaps of fast guys out there, so it's difficult.
This is obviously, it is pretty much a typical European track. I mean, the only Australian track I've ever seen was the World, which was kind of like an intermediate circuit. I mean, what sort of surfaces are you used to racing on?
Yeah, I mean, definitely I don't normally race on something like this. Our tracks are kind of a lot smaller, probably a bit more supercrossy technical, probably more similar to American tracks. Coming here is new experience. The grip is, not insane, so my tracks are kind of dusty as well back home, so it's nothing really that new. But just the style of track being fast, open is a bit different, but I'm enjoying myself.
Thank you, Carl. And Marco, you turned up and you've stuck yourself on the podium straight away. Are you happy with second overall after you were TQ yesterday?
I'm not so happy because I was the speed to fight with Davide for the win, but I did too many mistakes in the quals and in the first final. So let's focus on my driving style for tomorrow.
Well, there you heard from the RCGP professionals, which of course is what the RCGP series is mostly about. But then we've got RC2, which are the up-and-coming drivers and those great club drivers. But the main point of RCGP is to introduce people who will become the racers of the future.
Genau. Aber wie gesagt, das ist halt Fahrer von der Welt. Von da.
Aro, das ist unser zweiter Fahrer hier vom Team. Fahrer, wir sind jetzt dabei, die Motoren einzustellen.
Ist es wieder?
Das wird alles. Aber du kannst wirklich von da oben fallen lassen. Das zeigt natürlich.
Wir beginnen und wir geben es bitte
eine große haben.
Well, we've seen from the youngsters, we've seen from the guys who had a good day yesterday, and let's talk to someone who didn't. Elliot, great qualifying, and then it all went to pot during the various races. I mean, individual speed, but putting the what was the problem?
Well, I mean, I made a few too many mistakes on my part, but also I got taken out quite a few times. It's been carnage out there, so it's something I didn't really expect. So we'll work on that for today, and hopefully have a bit more luck, drive a bit better, and see what happens.
So you say it's carnage. Is that because of the nature of the competition, the fact that you're all very quick, or is it because the track's funneling you into problems?
Yeah, I mean, the track doesn't help the situation for sure, but for some reason everyone wants to kill each other. So yeah, it's a bit more aggressive than normal. So hopefully the ref's going to be a bit stronger today.
Well, you know, you can speak Italian now, so you can go with Mao and ask him yourself.
Yeah. I don't know if he'll like what I want to say, but...
Elliot, thank you, mate. Genuinely best of luck for today. And let's talk to another man who we're talking to people who had a bad day. I think that'd be a very good summation of your yesterday, David.
Yeah, definitely. Just if it wasn't one thing, it was the other. You know, I made a couple of mistakes on my own. Had a couple of rough fights out there with some of the guys that kind of got the worst out of it. But yeah, new day today, and hopefully it will be a lot better.
I think we left quite late, but when we left, you were still completely disassembling and reassembling the car. Was that looking for a specific problem, or just to make you feel better that you've done it, or what was?
No, I think it was maybe like a little bit of both, I would say, just to have a good feeling, check so everything was all right. I had some crashes out there that was pretty hard, so just wanted to make sure everything was straight, nothing bent, and you know, just making sure everything was on point.
Best of luck for round 4. Thank you very much. And of course, the difference between round 4 and round 3 is we have a 1-hour final. Now, if you want to find out anything more about the RCGP series, go to www.rc-gp.com. And now, we've spoken to some guys at the back, at the front. Interestingly, the cars will all start in championship order. So Matt will tell you who's where in the championship.
Indeed I will, Nick. Indeed I will. Davide Ongaro is on pole, followed by Carl McBride in third, David Ronefalk. Fourth, Juan Carlos Canas. Fifth, Robert Battier. Sixth will be Cole Ogden. In seventh, it is Joseph Quagrain. In eighth position will be Lee Martin. In ninth, Max Mort. 10th, Mika Wittmeyer. 11th will be Marco Baruffalo. 12th will be Patrick Hoffer. 13th will be Elliot Boots, and in position number 14 will be Jorn Neumann. Let's see how today unfolds. Just heard from Elliot and David Ronefalk, both pretty much out of it yesterday, unfortunately, but today is a new day. You throw them back into the mix, we could have a completely different affair going down today. Can't wait to see what happens. Thank you to BeachRC.com, HB Racing, P1 Performer Racing, Infinity, Comsport, Amex Scuderia, Scampi Rosso, S-Works and JQ Racing. That is a list of people who believe in RCGP World Series and are helping make it happen. So thanks to them, and thanks to you, Nick.
No, thank you. Okay, so we're going to have a 3-minute warm-up first. As someone's broken a ruler's fallen off the wall. This was sort of poltergeist infection, I don't know. Okay, so as we now know the orders, one thing's interesting now is that Carl McBride is second in the championship. Who'd have thought that going into the whole thing? So a little bit of a delay to getting the cars out as they try to get the marshals ready. I think it's actually because the drivers weren't quite sure what the order of the grid was, so they're doing that now. They will, of course, get the couple of minutes on the track. For those who watched yesterday and saw the early heats, you'll know that there was a lot of rain. The track was watered heavily overnight on Friday and Saturday, and before round 1 and before round 2. So what happened there was that they made the track completely different, and interestingly, they have since decided not to water it again. So it's getting drier and dustier. I think the dust possibly is down a bit, because it's mostly scraped off by the previous cars. Okay, so those of you who are new to RCGP, what is going to be happening in this race? Okay. We have 4 qualifying races. everything is a race. These races are taking place over 10 laps, well, actually 9 3/4 laps. The grid is decided for the first race by championship order, and then for the second, third and fourth races, it's the reverse order of the finishing. So the guy who wins this first qualifying race ends up at the back of the grid in position 14 for qualifying race 2, and then the guy who wins qualifying race 2 is the back of the grid, and it's complete reverse grid. So it means someone goes very quick. So, for example, if our champion leader Davide Ongaro wins this race, next time, in about an hour and a half time, he'll have to start from the back and drive his way through. At the end of those 4 qualifying, they get points for each of the qualifying round, and it's the person with the least points. It's 1 point for the first 2 points, and the person with the least points will end up in pole for the 1 hour final. They say we've got a 1 hour final. I think it's 89 laps, I think I saw somewhere. But we'll get the complete lap number there, because they're adjusting it obviously within this track limits to make it exactly as close to an hour as possible. But 88, 85, 89 laps will be the final duration. So obviously these first qualifying races you don't need to fuel, and the sprint races you do. We also have the RC2 competition coming up after this, and I'll explain all about that, which is again all races, no qualifying. And we'll talk about what's happening there when those cars come on board in about 20 minutes to half an hour. So RC4 qualifying races, points for each of them, lowest score wins. No drop scores, so you have to, a problem in the race, a failure will carry with you for the entirety of the meeting. However, because you're guaranteed to be in the final, because of the 14, the RCGP is a straight-through qualifying system, all 14 make the final, then it's not the end of the world. You can start further back and have to break your way through. Now, what we have seen is the drivers who we interviewed earlier alluded to, this has been action-packed in the extent that there's been an awful lot of issues with, how can I say, people having accidents or hitting people. It's a very, very, very fast track. The fairing circuit is very quick. Let's stick with this blue and white car, how it with the Buffalo. So we're going to see he's on the field and ruin there. I was going to run around the lap with him, but we've just come a bit too late. And we'll see, those who don't know, Buffalo is in the red and blue. Marco Buffalo starting down in 11th. He won one of the rounds yesterday. The 4 rounds yesterday, 2 were won by Ongaro, 1 was won by McBride, and 1 was won by Buffalo. Buffalo won the second of the finals. The first final was won by Ongaro. Ongaro won overall with the aggregate. As you saw, McBride was second and Buffalo third. Buffalo, yes, on yesterday's showing, Buffalo and Ongaro have similar speed, but Ongaro has been a little bit more intelligent in the way he's used it. People we expected to show speed but didn't, including the guys we spoke to, which was Elliot and David Ronafalk. Ronafalk starting third because he's third in championship. Elliot is starting 13th because he's third in championship, but he didn't do the first 2 rounds in Manila. So we have 2 rounds at each event. There are 4 events. The next round is at the beginning of August in Asti in Italy, and then we have an event in the autumn with a date to be decided in the United States of America for the 4 rounds of RCGP. So the cars come out. So pole is Davide Ongaro, Ongaro for the Scampirossa team, and then McBride for Infinity, Ronafalk for HB, Canas for S-Works International, Beach RC, Ogden HB, Quagreen JQ, Martin Infinity, Mort JQ, Vidmar European S-Works. We'll get the rest of it. Oh, there's a jump start there. Can't see what they actually stopped. They jumped and stopped. I think it was clean start from, I think it was a jump start. I think it was a slight jump start from Canas, but it might have been Ogden. Anyway, doesn't really matter because away and streaking ahead already has gone David Ongaro, chasing him down. And somebody appears to change his body. I don't know, a white body shell yesterday, so that's probably McBride with a new shell, but I'll find out. Never like a new shell, always confuses me. So Ongaro leads. The all-white car, I think, is McBride running a new shell. He's red and white yesterday. And it is indeed the number 10, so that is McBride in the white. Then you've got Ronafalk in the yellow and the green. Then JQ up to 4th, Buffalo 5th, Battle 6th, and Canas 7th. Haven't heard any claims of issues regarding the jump start, so we carry on round. So we're with second place man Carl McBride there in the all-white Infinity. So he's up to the little hop, and then he goes up and over the tabletop. They come down the left, it's triple, which is normally double-single, but there is an option to do it single-double. You don't get that enough speed going around the corner. Got the first place section over the bridge, onto the sewer plates, turning back over the little kind of short chute before you turn it in front of us, and then the nasty hop up there, then go sharp left on the start finish, and now it's full power, left, power. Then look at Ronefalk now right up the backside of McBride, looking to make progress quickly. But if you think about this, they effectively go entirely right round this massive circuit in one big dirt oval, or square wheel perhaps, for those who remember BSB of the years. So up on the patio section, do a patio hairpin. It's getting very, very close. McBride now has Ronefalk for company. Ongaro is about 1.9 seconds ahead. So better lap from McBride there. He pulled out a little bit of gap. He lost 7/10 to Ongaro though. So Ongaro now leading quite nicely. Going to the hot race hairpin now, and you can see in the camera, in comes the hot race hairpin, both the cars. Now catching up is Barufalo in fourth, where he's just stumbled a little bit, and then there's the two Spaniards stuck together in fifth and sixth of Hassan Canas. Ronefalk goes very, very wide there. Get a good speed by going that wide. It's kind of a win and lose you come onto that triple. Carrying a lot of speed. Now he's going to have Barufalo for company soon. So Ronefalk now in third, and he's going to go fourth. I think, I'm not quite sure, but I just feeling there may have been a slight drop in the lead for Ongaro. No, he's exactly the same distance ahead, so he didn't gain. That's why it looked a bit less. So we are streaking now. We're now turning lap number 3 of 9. We're turning out with 4 of 9. And the three of them, second, third and fourth, are getting quite nailed together here. Ongaro not getting away, but you kind of wonder where he starts to go. He's got a gap as he goes inside himself. Oh, and then McBride's right off. And now we've got Ronefalk and you've got Barufalo. Barufalo got the inside. Barufalo, he was almost making a fourth to second. McBride fell off the track at the Infinity tabletop, and now Barufalo trying to get up the inside of Ronefalk. And we're kind of seeing what we saw before, is that Barufalo is the car that's got the speed of Ongaro, but of course he started way back and had to get through. He's now flying over the top, and he's now hunting down the Swedish former world champion. So Barufalo, who was our TQ on Friday in these dusty conditions, won the final. When he gets into clean air and he gets to the front, he's probably as quick, or not perhaps slightly quicker than Ongaro, though he has had issues with keeping the car on the island and not punting people, because in his enthusiasm to get to the front, that can cause problems. But Barufalo in the orange and blue car, and he's going to get up the inside of the over jump there by Ronefalk. And can he get up? And then he goes this. We're all about power now. Can they carry more speed up the main straight? And in fact, he did. He had a break here. See the break there, so he's learnt that one. He's immediately. Ronefalk got a bit of a tank slapper on, lost the drive, and Barufalo, you could see the nose dip as he braked. And now he's going to hop. Oh, he's got him, hopped him, jumped him. Well, no harm, no, he had to wait. He's been given a still 8, so he landed on him, and he had to wait and get through. The winner of that, obviously, when second and third are battling, the person who wins is the leader. And round out, and now Ronefalk saying to Barufalo, but Barufalo will take that, and that's resulted in a massive condensing of the field behind Barufalo in second. We now have McBride in third, and a battle between Ronefalk, Canas, and Bataille for 4th, 5th. But Barufalo now is moving forward. We're with the battle for 3rd, 4th and 5th. As Barufalo now will have to try and make up a 6-second gap. It's not going to happen unless there's a mistake, which he did make luck yesterday on Ongaro. So Ongaro's pulled away, a combination of speed and not being impeded. Battle's dropped off this one, so there's been a problem for a battle. He just dropped back with an accident. So we now have battle 3rd, 4th and 5th between McBride and the white car, Ronefalk in the yellow and green car, and then just dropping slightly off this is Canas in the blue and silver machine. Oh, and that was trying to triple that one. Ronefalk now gets very heavily involved with Canas. You just see that as they come round. So Ronefalk and Canas, they battle over 4th. McBride breaking away again. They come down the straight. So McBride's doing it. Oh, and Canas there just couldn't carry the speed through that first corner. So just to remind you, Ongaro's winning this with a lap and a half to go. Ongaro from Barufalo. Barufalo's got about a second lead of McBride, who's again really showing some great form here in fairing. And from Infinity, his teammate Martin is in 7th, so it's been a much better event all told for Infinity, to be honest. And as they turn back on us again, Ongaro has started his last lap. Barufalo started his last lap. And these two are all now running their last lap, and then Ronefalk, who was running second, got to 4th. Barufalo, no real surprise, has managed to get to 2nd. So what we need to try and do is let's see if we can find our leader. Where is it? Okay, our leader is just going over the triple now and coming over the bridge now. This is David Ongaro. So Ongaro has about 3 corners to go to make another win, get another point for RCGP. But of course he will start 14th in the next one. And Ongaro wins it. Nice victory for Ongaro. Second place is going to be, there's Barufalo. And right up Canas 4th, McBride 5th, Mort 6th. Yeah, there's more than finished yet. And to the line battle between Boots and Battle. Battley Boots, which Battle got by 500 a second. So that is your overall result at the moment. And I'm going to go and try and talk some of these cool people.
So as Nick makes his way around to the interview area, let's have a look one more time at the results grid. The scores are in. Position number 1, David Ongaro. 2, Marco Barufalo. 3, David Runnerfolk. 4, Juan Carlos Canes. 5, Kyle McBride. 6, Max Mort. 7, Robert Battier. 8, Elliot Boots. And in number 9, Joseph Quagrain. Number 10, Patrick Hoffer. 11, Mika Vidmeyer. 12, Lee Martin. 13, Cole Ogden. And in position 14 was Jorn Neumann. So I believe Nick is ready. Over to you.
With the winner, there's a bit of a getting a thing called deja vu now. Another race. That was really quite simple. Just drive off the front, drive round for 7 minutes, more points.
Yeah, more points. We put a new tire this morning, so maybe the tire can have to use them. But yeah, car was good. I'm happy.
Starting from the back for the next one. So how does that change how you approach setup?
No, setup is the same for the next one. I think just to stay calm in the first lap, so maybe some driver can make mistakes and just drive without mistakes also.
Thank you very much. Congratulations. And in second place is the Italian duo again. Marco, well, you had to battle back from, what, I think 11th or 12th to start with, and then you got to second, but you couldn't make up the gap.
Yeah, I started in 10th spot, I think, and the first 2 laps I tried to stay calm and avoid the other cars. And in the middle of the race, I had a little contact with David, but we don't lost sometimes. And at the finish, I finished second, and I did 37.7, so the car was amazing.
So you're happy then? Yeah. Because you've now got to start the back again.
Yeah, I know. It's difficult. We try to stay calm also in the next round, and maybe we try a different pattern for tires for the main final. But for the moment, it's okay.
Marco, thank you very much. That is our Italian 1-2, Ongaro and Barufalo in race 1. There are, of course, 3 more to go. These boys start at the back. It's all to play for. So we'll have the first round of RC2 in a minute. But that was RCGP Round 4, Heat 1. Another great race.
You're off.